welcome back to the Joshua Cuthbertson Show. This is episode 92. Before we get into our special guest, I would like for y'all to check out my sponsor sheet at the end of the episode. We have 7 wonderful sponsors sponsoring the Joshua Cuthbertson Show. They offer amazing services and products, so don't forget at the end of the episode to check out my sponsor sheet. And now, for our special guest, she graduated from West Craven High in 2012. She went on to play ball at Elizabeth City State University, and now she's giving her time and efforts back to the kids and the youth. She's coaching at a high school, and she's coaching AAU basketball for the Lady Phenomz. Today is our special guest, Coach Khadijah Bryant. How you doing today?
What's going on?
How you been?
Can't complain, can't complain.
So, I know we already interviewed you before, but now it's time to get updates of what's been going on with your team, your life, and ever since COVID done hit us and kind of calmed down a little bit, how y'all been catching up with things?
Absolutely. So, back when we talked last time, we were right in the midst of COVID. I think last time we were talking about how I was trying to find creative ways to get my kids in, staying active as far as basketball. We was out at the park because the gyms and stuff was closed down and things like that. So I'm thankful now that we're to a point where we can play basketball as well as get inside of a gym and practice and things like that. Since the last time we talked, I'm not gonna say I added myself, or I reached out to one of the local AAU programs here out in New Bern, North Carolina, the Eastern Carolina Phenomz, and he allowed me to coach a girls team on the ladies side. So that's where the Lady Phenomz kind of stem from, the Eastern Carolina Lady Phenomz. Last summer I started with a high school group. It was our first year going out and playing. We did well. We had some hiccups, but that kind of happens when you're starting a program. Then this summer I added a middle school group as well as having that high school group, and kind of running into those same first year hiccups. So I'm looking forward to next summer, maybe combining that middle school, that high school group, and then just making one group, and then taking those girls off and going out and playing and being able to compete, as well as showcasing our talents.
A middle school group and a high school group, and your next plan is put them as one? That's what I'm thinking. When we talk about basketball and getting better in basketball, you need to always challenge yourself. So if you're a 8th grader, 7th grader, and you're killing your 7th grade, 8th grade competition, then are you actually getting better? Are you challenging yourself? So I think that I have a few girls that can compete, against JV, 9th grade, 10th grade, and maybe even some juniors, some 17U basketball. I think I got some girls that can compete, and if not, it's all a lesson. Everything that we do, we should be learning from, and that's how we grow. We grow from learning from our mistakes, learning from our failures. So, you get out there, you make a mistake, you go back to the gym, you work on it, and you get better. Next time you go back out there, you don't make that same mistake. So I believe that I can pull about 5 or 6 middle school girls, either going into high school or just moving up to that 8th grade level, and make a combined, because I have a good group of high school girls that's right there at that age, 9th grade, 10th grade, that that's not reaching that senior level where they have time to to still develop. So I think it'd be good to just kind of combine them, and then as well, the younger girls will grow playing, even playing and practicing with the older girls. So I think it'd be good. That'll be great. Yes, sir.
I think
so. Coaching 2 different age groups, the younger girls, and then you say these younger girls are killing their age group, and then you got the high school girls. Do you see any differences from the age of even like 1 or 2 years?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now the kids, when we talk about AAU is a lot different than when we talk about school ball. So school ball, you may have 1, maybe 2 really good girls on the team. AAU, you're talking about 5 to 7 really good girls on the team. So you're really meeting better competition than what you normally see. So when you take your skills from what you've been doing in school all year, and you go out and you meet this better competition, it doesn't necessarily always look the best, you know. So with my younger kids, I see us being sped up. I see us rushing a lot. I see us, you know, just kind of playing just out of control.
Because the game is played a lot faster.
You know,
than AAU ball.
it is, but it's under control. AAU's is speed, but under control.
Okay.
Like the middle school is just all speed. You know, how many times do you go to a middle school game, and you know, you watch 10 possessions, and 6 of those 10 possessions are turnovers, just because we losing the ball, or we making bad passes, or you know, just little small things. So you don't have as much as that in AAU, you know, because the girls are essentially better. So when you talk about middle school, where they're constantly sped up, and these high school girls, where they play high school ball, and their coaches are telling them to slow down, run on offense, you know, run a defense, things like that. You can see that change between high school and middle school, where we're playing, you know, middle school, we're just kind of having fun, just chasing the ball, running around, and then now in high school we have to put concept to it. Now we have to put strategy to it. Now, why are we doing this? You know, why are we doing that? Versus, you know, middle school, where, you know, like I said, we're just kind of playing, you know. So, you know, there is a difference. I do see a difference between, you know, the middle school age group and the high school age group.
Like when you said there's a difference from 7th and 8th grade, you're not putting strategy to it. To high school down, you put strategy to it. But I see some kids now, they're actually learning how to do it earlier.
Oh,
than
absolutely.
they get there. Do you
Absolutely.
think some kids it's a disadvantage because the area they live in, they don't get that proper teaching until they get to high school, versus some kids, they get it early. They get that 6th, 7th, 8th grade, they're getting that, oh, I know why I'm doing this. I know why we're running this play. I know what to look for when we're running this play type thing.
I agree, 100%. You know, I have this conversation with my mentor all the time about basketball in our area. When we talk about not just like, you know, Craven County, you know, our counties, I'm just talking about the eastern part of the state. Everything, you know, you think about when we talk about state championships, you know, 1A, 2A, 3A, all those. For the last few years, the west side of the state has won the state championship because those kids are being taught different things than we're being taught, or that we're teaching over here. Those kids are, you know, more fundamentally sound. They understand their concepts. They're running sets the whole time. Unfortunately, here, what I think is happening now is we're not teaching, and because we're not teaching, we're banking a lot of our skills off of athleticism. So, you know, if a kid can reach up and dunk the ball, then you know, we're all giddy about that, instead of slowing them down and showing them, you know, different things to make him a better player. So I agree. You know, I think it's, you know, that just the lack of teaching that we do in this eastern part of the state, where, you know, our kids lack those fundamentals. You know, I respect what you guys do with the Warriors, because, you know, those kids have bought in. They've bought in, and because they bought in, they're getting better, and they're going to see it. If you can get those kids, like you guys are doing, you're getting those kids to understand these fundamentals, why you're doing this, you know, why you're doing that, then when they really grow into their bodies, you know, that 9th grade, that sophomore year, when they really reach their athletic peak, they're going to be taking their game to the next level, because they already have that foundation. They already have that base. Okay. So, I mean, you know, it's really about what we're teaching these kids at a young level. It's really hard, and that's where my frustration comes in as a coach, because, you know, I coach high school basketball. It's hard to take a 10th grader or a junior and try to take them back to learn the things that they should have learned, whether it was middle school or rec ball, or, you know, whenever you picked up that basketball, you know, these are things that you should have learned before you got to this point, because that's where a lot of kids reach this frustration of, you know, where they feel unsuccessful because they can't do this move, or they can't do that move. But it's just simply, you know, the simple fact of, you know, you might not have the footwork to do that move. That's why you don't feel successful. And, you know, just some of the things that, you know, like I said, we should have went back and taught at a younger age. You know, I think that of myself, you know, when I, and I say these to my kids when I get a new kid and I'm training them or whatever, I tell them, I say, you got to think about the first time that you decided to play basketball. You just probably walked out there, picked up a basketball, and just started shooting. No one slowed down and taught you. No one taught you. No one taught me how to play basketball. I just kind of got out there with the guys and I just started shooting. And then when I got to college, or even when I got, met a real coach, Coach Lorenzo Jones, my freshman year, he tried to slow me down and teach me these things that I needed to know, like shooting form or a fast break. It didn't make sense to me why we needed an offense for a fast break. Fast break is run down the floor, pass the ball to the open man. No, fast break is a strategy, space the floor, then pass the ball to the open man. I didn't understand that. And because I didn't understand that, and at that point in my life, my 9th grade year, I rebelled against it. So I didn't want to learn it. And because of that, I spent my first 2 years in college sitting on the bench learning fundamentals that I should have learned, when I was in middle school, I think about that all the time. What if I would have known what I know now back then? Where could I've gone? Where could I've gone? So that's why I try to do. I try to get these kids to understand that you need these. The level that you're at, you may be good at that level, but at some point you're going to meet somebody who's better. And you have to get better. You're gonna have to take it to the next level, and it's going to require things that you may not know. So you have to go back and learn it. So that way you can be successful at the next level. It's not about the level that you're on. It's always about the next level, because that's the ultimate goal, is to get to the next level.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a big fact. So as a coach, you're coaching middle school, you're coaching AAU. What's your biggest problem with these kids? Like, if you just have to sit back and just say, man, I get so frustrated at these kids when they do this. Like, what is it?
It's the lack of hard work for me. So I have kids that, they just come in the gym and, they just goof off and, they go through the motions, and it's not hard every single time. You do that drill, you go so hard till you mess up, till you make a mistake. You don't go lackadaisical, you don't go soft, just so you can make the layup. It's the that grit that I'm going to get it by any means necessary. Kids don't have that. We grew up with that. Every time we got in the gym, no matter who it was with, no matter what we was doing, no matter where we was at, it was hard. It was hard. I remember times I'm older than you. I'm a year older than you. I remember times going into the gym with you, and you're training me, and I'm older than you.
Right.
And everything you did, you said, come on, we got to pick it up. You got to go harder. I respect it, because I knew that you had something that I didn't. And if I wanted to get better, this is what I had to do. So, I went hard. I went hard in all drills. I went hard in every drill. I remember times being in the gym with Jamie. She's 3 years younger than me, and I'm going just as hard as she is. And when she tells me to pick it up, I respect that, and I'm going harder. So kids just don't have that. They're satisfied with just being in the gym. I went to the gym today, threw a couple of shots up, maybe did a couple of crossover moves. I've been to the gym today.
They're not paying attention to detail.
But
they're not really in there.
They're not, they're going through the motions, So then when you get in the game, now they're frustrated because they've been in the gym all week, or they've been in the gym all day working on this, and that, and it's not translating to the game. That's because you're not going hard enough in practice. You got to practice like you play. If you expect to be able to do it in the game, you have to bring that same intensity, that game intensity, in practice in order to really, see that success in the game. So that's my biggest pet peeve. It's just I can teach you how to shoot a layup. I can teach you how to dribble the ball, but I cannot teach effort, and I can't beg for it every single day. I can't beg for effort. I can't, and I won't. I just won't. I won't beg for effort. If you don't want to be here, hey, you don't have to be here. But I'm not gonna beg you to be here or beg for you to try to do what I'm asking you to do.
That's a fact. So what's next for you personally, then for the team?
What's next?
Like, what's your personal goal?
So, right now I'm out at Goldsboro High School. This will be my second year out at Goldsboro High School. My goal is to bring success back to Goldsboro. Get us back on track. basketball. So therefore, like I said, that we can have that success. The last time that we talked, I said that my ultimate goal was to, coach collegiate basketball, and that is still my ultimate goal. Last time we talked, at the moment I was not coaching anywhere, and I knew that in order for me to coach collegiate basketball, that I needed experience.
Okay.
So, that's what I'm doing here at Goldsboro. My first year was a really great experience. I learned something about myself in that experience in my first year, as well as my girls and my team and my environment. So this year, I'm going in to change my environment, my culture, be more involved in the community, and things like that. So then, therefore, I can continue to grow as a coach. So therefore, I can continue to gain this experience. So ultimately, I can, from 5 years from now, step into, a collegiate position, whether it's an assistant or, a head coach. That's my ultimate goal is to coach basketball. So that's where I'm headed.
Daggone right. Now, before I let you go, because you said you want to coach collegiate basketball, if you was to have a place to pick, a choice, where would you want to go coach?
Where would I want to go coach? If I had an opportunity, I would go back to my alma mater and I would coach at Elizabeth City State University.
For real?
Yes, I would.
Nah.
Yes,
nah.
I would.
So you
Fighting
telling me, out of all these schools, you can go coach at Carolina, Duke, Syracuse, Tennessee. You'll go back to Elizabeth City State.
I'm going to Liz.
That's just because you went there, or
No, it's not. How do
that's
I
like a
put it?
little bias towards?
No, I don't know. I just feel like when, especially with everything going on nowadays, these D1 programs, you got to pamper these kids way too much to keep them. You got kids going in this transfer portal left and right.
That's a fact.
Why not be the coach grabbing these kids from the transfer portal? Most of these kids, going from mid-major D1s, dropping down to Division 2s. And
That's a fact.
I mean, the CIAA is one of the toughest conferences to play in. So, why not? And then I know that I can get gritty kids. That's what I want. I want grit kids. I want kids that's gonna have your back. When you back down in the alley, they're gonna ride for you.
Yeah.
So, and that's the culture that we kind of created out at Elizabeth City. So, I would love to go back and continue to give back and lead the program.
Daggone right.
To do that, absolutely.
Especially with this transfer portal. Man.
Yeah, I'm about to say with the transfer portal being as crazy as it is, kids leave like it's nothing. I mean, we don't know the whole story of why they decide to leave or whatnot, but it's really surprising to see some of these kids leave these Division I schools and things like that, and then in turn, at the same time, those D1 coaches, they're recruiting constantly. So
you don't know if this kid gonna stay or go.
Yeah, so if that they about to go recruit a kid over you and they might be better than you, then that one kid may leave. So I can grab that kid and my program will be Division I.
Right.
It's all about how you run your program. It can be Division II, Division III, whatever. But if you run your program, top notch, then it's gonna be what it's gonna be what you make it. I say that to say, and this will be my last thing. I say that to say, you think of Heather Macy. Heather Macy was the coach out at ECU, a few years back. She's now coaching out at Greensboro College University. Not University, Greensboro College.
Yeah.
It's a D3 school out in Greensboro. But she runs her program like a Division I program because, that's what she is.
That's what she
She's
is.
a Division
She
I.
daggone right.
So, even though it's a D3 school and, you might not have all the glitz and glamours, but you're still going to get what
That
you need.
D1
You're
work.
still going to get that D1 work. You're still going to become a better basketball player. And, she's going to treat you within her budget, within her means, like a Division I player. So, it's about how you run your program. And, the names is all that. It's about the coaching staff and the relationships.
That's a fact. But there y'all have it, y'all. That's the end of the 92nd episode of the Joshua Cuthbertson Show with our special guest, Coach Khadijah Bryant. Go check her out. She's coaching at high school in Goldsboro. She's coaching the Lady Phenomz. She's doing an awesome job giving her time back to these kids. Telling y'all, go support her in every way. Love, peace. We out. Thank you everyone for watching the Joshua Cuthbertson Show. I appreciate your love and support. Continue to show your love and support by clicking the subscribe button below the video. Tune in to next week's episode of the Joshua Cuthbertson Show. Love, peace. We out.